Hello everyone, I am Dattatreya Nikam. Welcome you all on our channel eFunda, new day, new topic. And our today's topic is engineering discipline deliverable, which includes the basic design, feed and detail design stages. And if you are new to our channel, then please visit to our channel eFunda and watch all the videos created related various subjects of engineering, fundamental, project and career, Telecommunication Engineering, Instrumentation and Control Engineering, Deliverable, Procurement Engineering and many more. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get latest notification on upload of our new video on our channel eFunda. So let's begin with our today's topic, that is engineering discipline deliverable, basic design, feed and detail stage. Starting with engineering discipline deliverable. The basic concept, fundamentals and detailed are covered as part of our eFunda learning digital platform. To make use of this, watch all the videos and that will help you to understand our today's topic, where we are going to cover the discipline specific or level engineering deliverable under each phase of the project life cycle. For complete overview of engineering discipline process, that is EDP, as the engineering work phases are very critical, and without understanding the following, one will not clearly understand the concept of the engineering. A is the feasibility, B is the conceptual design, that is a CD, C is the front end engineering design, that is a feed or a basic engineering, detail engineering, that is mainly detail and design engineering. One can refer to the table below, where basically feasibility and engineering, procurement, construction, operation and maintenance stages are covered. Feasibility, where conceptual design, pre-feed, feed or basic engineering are covered typically under EPC. Detailed engineering, procurement, design engineering, construction or erection is covered. And finally at the O&M, where operation and maintenance is mainly considered. Now in this video today we will see each discipline with their deliverables, what is the stage they are required, are specifically covered in this video. Keep watching this video till the last so as to have the clear understanding on engineering discipline deliverables and their required stages. Engineering deliverables life cycle. One can refer to the picture where basic design, feed, detail design is shown. Under the basic design, process design, basic data for equipment and instruments are required. Under feed, equipment design, instrument design, purchase of a critical equipment, building structure concept design, feedback to the process design, and then under into the details, incorporation of the purchase item, construction drawing mainly requires piping drawing, instrument drawing, civil drawing and electrical drawing. Between these two stages, purchase of the equipment and the purchase of material is simultaneously being carried out as part of the engineering deliverable life cycle. We will see in a detail discipline wise. Now moving on to engineering deliverables, we are going to cover the stages of a basic engineering, feed and detailed design engineering stages. We will go discipline wise. One can refer to the table where mainly the discipline deliverable or activity and the stages are covered. Under the general, basic engineering design data, procurement plan with identification of a long lead item, that is LLI, project time schedule, project equipment list. These are the main deliverables are required as part of the general, and the stages are also indicated. One can refer to the table and study carefully. Next we are going to safety and environment, where typically the HAZOP report, HAZOP closeout report, hazard closeout report, quantitative risk analysis, that is QRA, hazardous area classification, hack drawing, fire water demand calculation, fire and gas detection layout, fire water pump network PNIDs, fire water network layout drawing, safety concept and philosophies, environment requirement specifications, environment impact assessment, that is EIA, are covered. And mainly under safety and environment, Mainly these documents are required to be prepared during the feed stage or the detail stages, where the conclusion or the final drawings will be prepared and issued for the construction. Now moving on to the process discipline, we will see the process design basis required as part of the basic and detail engineering stages. Process design criteria, basic and detail. Process flow diagram is required in all the stages, basic, feed, and may not be required in the detail based on the client requirement. Heat and mass balance are required in all the three stages. Process equipment list, size except heat exchanger is required in the basic. In the detail, actual sizing is required and the complete details are required as part of the detail engineering. PNIDs, process, then feed, process plus utility, and detail, process, utility, and all the packages are also required. PNID is required in all the stages. Process description is mainly prepared during feed. Operating manual is mainly required as part of the detail engineering. Equipment process data sheets are mainly required in the process equipments only during the basic stages, or process plus utility equipment, flare and drain, etc. details are required to be covered as part of the feed. Instrument process data sheets are mainly required during feed and detail for all the control valve, on-off valves, analyzers, flow meter, PLCs, etc. Package unit duty specifications are mainly required in basic and feed stages. Emergency shutdown philosophies is required during feed stages. Cause and effect diagrams are mainly required in the feed stages, and sometimes implementation is also required in the detail as part of the control system architectural details, where all the ESD and FSD or the DCS systems are implemented. Heat exchanger thermal design and data sheets are mainly required in feed. Utility consumptions are required in all the stages. Flare relief load details are required in all the stages of the project. Now moving on to equipment or mechanical discipline, mainly the equipment specifications are required in feed. Equipment mechanical design are required in a feed stage. Equipment mechanical data sheets are required in feed stage. Material requisition for inquiry is required in a feed and detail. Technical bid evaluation is required during feed and detail. Then the vendor material purchase requisition for long lead items are required in field, and for all the items are required in detail. Vendor follow-up is required during the detail engineering. Now moving on to the plant layout, where the general plot plan is required in feed and detail. Unit plot plan is typically required in the basic. IFD is required in feed stage and IFC is required in the detail stages. 3D modeling review is mainly required during the feed stages and the detail engineering stages. Now piping installation, mainly the piping routing is required during the feed stages. Piping studies and layout drawing, piping general arrangement drawing and isometric drawings are required mainly during the detail engineering, where the actual construction drawings will be issued as part of the detail engineering stage. Now moving on to piping material, general specification for piping material, piping classes summary, material selection and corrosion control report, special piping item specifications, piping material classes specifications. These are the deliverables are mainly required during the feed stages. Standard drawing are required in a feed and the detail stages, where the actual installation is being carried out. Piping MTO is required during feed and the detail, where the extraction is based on the PNIDs, where the item counts will be there, and plot plan, piping routing drawing, etc. are required for the length during feed stages. And from piping layout studies and 3D modeling details are required in the detail engineering stages. Piping stress, where the design specification, piping stress design basis is required in feed stages. Piping stress calculations, that is a simplified calculations of the critical lines with impact on the plant layout, is required to be covered as part of the feed, and details are required in the detail engineering stages. Piping support drawing and their list are mainly required during detail engineering. One can see the table where we are going to cover the instrumentation and control engineering discipline. One can see that no other specific details are required as part of the basic engineering. Mainly these deliverables are required during feed and the detail engineering stages. Control system specifications are required during feed and detail. Instrument data sheets are required during feed and detail, where on-off valves, process, then the control valves, PSVs, flow meter, analyzers, etc. are required in the feed, and mainly the detail, all the data sheets are required. Instrumentation and automation design specifications are required in feed and detail. System architectural drawing is required in feed and detail. System IO choosing is required in feed and detail engineering stages. Instrument list is required in feed and detail stages. Material requisition mainly for inquiry is required in feed stages, and for all the item it is required the detail inquiry for the RFQ is required during the detail stages. Material takeoff is mainly required during the detail engineering stages. Cable schedule is part of the detail. Loop drawing is part of the detail. Hookup drawing is part of the detail, as well as the part of the feed, where generally these standard drawings are used, and mainly during the detail all the assigned tag numbers for each type of the hookup is covered. Control and technical rooms building equipment arrangement drawings are preliminary, that is based on the size of the buildings only, is required as part of the feed document, and all the details are required in detail engineering stages. Cable routing drawings are main routing is only required during feed, and in detail all the routings of the cables are required as part of the detail engineering stages, where the location and their cable routings are covered. Now one can refer to the electrical discipline deliverables, where in basic engineering no other deliverables are required. Mainly the deliverables are required as part of the feed and the detail engineering stages. This is similar to the instrumentation. Electrical design criteria is required during feed. Single line diagram is general required in feed, and the detail related to the mainly the switch gears are required as part of the detail. Electrical consumers list and power balance preliminary is required in feed, final is required in detail. Equipment general specification are required in feed and detail. Electrical design specifications are required in feed and detail. Equipment data sheet mainly HV and MV as part of the feed, and detail LV is required. Material requisition is required to be covered under the detail. Standard drawing, that is the design, is required in feed, and installation is required in the detail. Specifications for bulk is mainly required in detail. MTO preliminary for bulk cables only as part of the feed, and all the MTO is required during the detail. Cable schedule, that is a preliminary and final, is required respectively feed into the detail, and mainly the preliminary, which include the sizes and other items. Substation equipment arrangement, where the preliminary sizes of the stations are required as part of the feed, and final is required into the detail. Cable routing drawings, main routings only, and all routings are required in detail. Calculation, some calculations are required during feed, and all the calculations are required into the detail engineering. Now moving on to the civil discipline, one can refer to the table where no specific deliverables are required as part of the basic engineering. Mainly the deliverables are required during feed and the detail engineering stages. Soil investigation specifications are required in feed, and the details are required in the detail engineering. Review soil investigation report are required in both feed and the detail engineering. Earthworks drawings are required during feed. Underground network drawing generally 1:1200 scale in feed area, 1:500 scale during detail. Civil and structural design basis criteria is required during feed, where the details are not required to be covered, and detail engineering all the required. Design specifications are required in feed and detail. Specification for work is mainly the main in feed and all for the detail. Guide outline drawing if needed to perform the MTO during feed stage. Design drawing is in detail. Calculation and calculation nodes are required in detail. Drainage network calculations are required during feed. Concrete steel standard drawing is required in design as a feed, and the construction as a detail. Building architectural drawing is required in feed, and in material takeoff preliminary is required during feed, and in detail is required up to date, that is a updated drawing. This is how we have tried to cover engineering deliverables and their stages of requirement, that is feed, basic and detail and design engineering, and there may be some variations or the changes are required based on the client specification, depends on the project specification, depend upon the project scope. This is how we are trying to cover the detail in this video, and similarly for additional reference one can refer to the our all the others video, and similarly one can see all the engineering deliverables, feed and detail engineering stages including the basis are covered. With this, we are concluding on our today's topic, and you can find our channel details as follows. If you are new to our channel, that is our YouTube channel eFunda, then subscribe to our channel eFunda, and don't forget to press bell icon to get latest notification of upload of our new video on our channel eFunda. Similarly, you can follow us on a Instagram page. Similarly, you can follow us on our Facebook page as well. And keep watching our channel eFunda for various topics related to engineering and a project. With this, we can assure you this will help you to better your understanding on engineering and a project topic. Keep watching our channel eFunda. Thanks. Watch our channel for new day, new topic.